Hey, what's up? It's Ryan. Real quick, before we get into this week's episode of the THC podcast, I'm doing an upcoming webinar. It's going to teach you how to generate your own leads, how to close your own sales. And when you are a salesperson in the modern marketplace and you can go get leads and close them, you are your own little cash machine. You can get raises, bonuses, sign-ons, everything else. I'm going to show you how to do all this on an upcoming seminar that we're going to create online, so you don't even have to leave your house to check it out. Just go over to hcwebinar.com. Again, get registered because there's limited space. Go to webinar. We'll only let me put a certain amount of people on there. It's hcwebinar.com. And let me show you through this online learning experience how badass you can become by generating your own leads and closing your own sales. Now let's get into the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hardcore Closer podcast. I'm Ryan Stewman, founder of THC Podcast, hardcorecloser.com, free academy, a bunch of books, some other cool shit and everything else. And I'm glad that you're here because I'm all about helping you close more deals. Listen, whether you're selling cars, homes, financial services, coaching, consulting, or whatever it is that you sell. I'm sure you sell something. Unless you work in the accounting or HR department, you are in sales. And even if you're in the accounting and HR department, well, A, you're probably on the wrong show, but B, you still have to sell people into complying to whatever it is that you need them to comply. And that's what we're here for, is we're here to help you get people to comply with you, which means increasing your closing ratios and show you how to charge premium fees for whatever it is that you sell so you can get paid what you work. Now, look, I know some people have hit me up and they say, man, you always talk about charging premium fees for what you sell. Why would you want to rip people off? And I'm like, why would you want to sell something that's cheap? You see, because if you sell, here's the thing. I've learned this in my years of being this quote unquote internet marketer. I have a $27 product. It's going away soon, so don't rush over there and buy it. The way that we do everything is changing. There'll be more on that in a couple episodes from now. But I have a $27 product called Magnetic Media. And as a whole, we sell quite a few of those $27 products, and it's honestly an upsell, right? It's a badass product, and then we offer you an upsell to the next thing because, I'm in sales, right? That's what I'm supposed to do. So the only program that I ever get requests for refunds back on is the $27 thing. Now, look, I don't even offer refunds, but fuck, for $27, just fucking take your money and shut up, right? But it is the ultimate sorter because it has taught me that if you don't charge premium fees for whatever it is you sell, because I'll let you in on a secret in a second, then people do not value it. The reason why people ask for a refund is not because they expected $27 to solve every problem they've had in life. It's not because they expected this to be the best product that they've ever bought in their entire life. It's that they didn't value it, they didn't open it up, they didn't take it, so they just asked for their money back. And see, when you charge premium fees, like let's be honest, I've looked at a lot of cars. I'm always looking to buy cars. I like cars. I think they're cool. I've sold cars. If you go sit in a Mercedes and you go sit in a Ford, let's be real, the inside of the Ford's nicer, but yet the Mercedes cost a lot more money. That's because Mercedes has figured out who their audience is and how to charge premium fees for honestly a piece of shit car. I fucking hate Benzes, right? I would drive anything. I would rather drive a Chevrolet Malibu than an E, C, or S series Benz, right? They're shitty cars, and the Malibu is going to actually have more technology and be more comfortable. People say, oh man, it's all about the engine. Bro, I got a Maserati. If I want something with a fast engine, it's definitely not going to be a fucking Benz. Anyway, that's my rant for Mercedes today. I truly hate those cars. But they have figured out how to charge premium fees. And like I said, for really an inferior, shitty product, they figured out how to charge premium fees. But here's the reason why people don't view it as an inferior, shitty product is because of the way that they position themselves so people value them. Now, the same thing goes for your business. When I talk about charging premium fees for the things that you sell, I'm not talking about ripping people off or hitting them above sticker price or, this guy didn't see it coming, so I charged them double what I charge everybody else. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're the best at what it is that you do, if you sell something that's the best at whatever it is that it does, don't you think that you should get paid accordingly? Oftentimes car salesmen, insurance salesmen, mortgage people, real estate people, they go to the negotiating table and they just drop their pants. They start giving discounts. They start doing anything they can do to get the deal. And then they wonder why the prospect/client runs the fuck over them. Because nobody respects something that you don't charge premium fees for. When you go see an attorney, I'll give you one last example. You go see an attorney, the attorney that offers you a deal is the one that doesn't show up in court. The one that charges you 3 to 4 times as much as everybody else doesn't necessarily do any more work. He just knows how to get paid and how to value his time. And in return for that, his prospects and clients value his time and value their time with him as well. So welcome to episode number 38 of the THC podcast. Look, I'm glad that you're here. If it's your first time here, be sure to check out the previous episodes of this. Like, we're at 38, like I just said, so that means there's at least 37 other episodes of this shit right now that you can check out. While you're there, I ask one favor and one favor only, and really it's not even a favor. It's kind of like your civic duty as a member to the THC podcast community, and that's to leave me a fucking review. Go over there, leave me a 5-star review on iTunes. It takes you 30 seconds. Look, I'm spending hours a week preparing for this podcast, having everything, like the things that Robert does in the background, the places we upload. This shit doesn't magically fucking happen, folks. So I'm asking you to spend 30 seconds of your fucking life to go over and leave me a 5-star review. I need it. And it's not about me like, hey, man, I need it. I got these cheeseburgers and shit. It ain't like that. What it is I'm on a mission to reach and help and affect 300 million or more salespeople. And I can't do this alone. I need your help. Whether it's your first time here or you've been here 37 other times at this point, I need your help. And the easiest thing for you to do is to go to the iTunes podcast and leave me a quick review. 5 stars are the best, obviously, but you vote with your conscience on this. But if you leave me a review, what happens is iTunes says, oh, okay, well, there's more people listening to this, so we'll show it up higher in the rankings so that more salespeople can find this, so that we can liberate their thinking, increase their gross commissions earned, and everything else, and we can help reach those 300 million people to make an effect on it. Because, listen, I know that money doesn't solve everything, but it solves 99% of your problems. And so my job, I feel like I was put on this planet to help people who have previously suffered earn more money than they could have ever thought possible, which solves damn near every fucking problem that they have. So let's jump into one quick review real quick. I've got right here, Real, Raw, and Relevant, which is awesome because it's 5 stars, of course. But Real, Raw, and Relevant's my homie Garrett J. White. He I actually just bought his Warrior book. I'm pretty excited about that, but that's like his saying, Real, Raw, and Relevant. And actually, B. Coleman 9, I'm guessing, is Bobby Coleman, who's actually done some sales stuff for us. So Bobby Coleman says, hey, Ryan's podcast is real, raw, and relevant, outstanding content delivered in each podcast. Even more impressive than the content is what you can learn by Ryan, by who Ryan is being and how he delivers the message. This should be every salesman's arsenal. I appreciate that, Bobby. For once, can we get a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? We get a round of applause for fucking Low Energy Robert for finally, out of the 15 million people that I know, finally pulling up a legit person's review, right? I don't write this shit, you guys. So up until this point, it's anybody's fucking guess. We've had Rape Master 420 and fucking Booty Bandit 900. We've had all these fucking weird people. At least finally, for once in the history of damn near 40 fucking episodes of this show, we actually know somebody who wrote a review. That says one of two things. All you people that know me that haven't wrote a review yet are assholes because I should know every fucking one of you. The other thing is Robert's been fucking with us this whole time. Either way, not cool, people. Get over there and leave us a review. And again, thanks, Bobby Coleman. I appreciate that. Let's get into the episode. Listen, we're going to talk about how to turn controversy into sales. We just watched a Donald Trump run for the president and get that motherfucker, secure his place as president. All along the way, fighting controversy after controversy. Hillary Clinton, same thing, controversy after controversy. And if you don't think those two are great salespeople, then you haven't been paying attention to really what the fuck they're doing. And there's a lot to learn from this election, and I'm not here to be all political. Do I like Trump? Hell yeah. If you look on my wall, I've been a Trump fan for a decade now. I graduated from Trump University. I've seen the man speak. I've watched The Apprentice, all that shit. He's a business guy. I like him, right? All the shit, you guys can hate on me for that or whatever the case may be, but I didn't vote because I don't give a shit about the government. It wouldn't have mattered to me if Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton had been president because I'm going to fucking make more money over the next 8 years than I've made in the previous 8 years. You can bet that shit no matter who's here. So I say that when I talk about the sales process we're fixing to go through, because I'm going to break down this election and how the controversy led to over 100 million votes, 1/3 of the country. And people say, well, there's like 350 million people and only 100 million voted. Yeah, a lot of them can't make the polls. A lot of them live in rural areas. A lot of them are under 18. You have to take all that into consideration. A lot of them are old as fuck. They can't make it in. So you have to take that 1/3 of our country voted for one of these two people. And all along turning controversy into profit the whole way. And I've done a really good job of this in the past. I'm trying to stray away from it. And we'll get into my side of everything too. But I want you to understand what just took place, because during this election, my cost per lead went from about $4 to $12. And anytime your cost per leads go up 400%, that fucking changes your budget quickly. And the capitalization of what just went on in this election is unreal. From Donald Trump selling Make America Great Again red hats and financing his campaign that way, to the email marketing tactics that Hillary Clinton used to get people to donate $1 every single day. It's fucking amazing. And those are sales. And I'm going to use this, since this is fresh on everybody's mind today. Like I said, I'm not taking one side or the other. Am I a Trump fan? Hell yeah. Do I give a shit about the government? No. But I'm going to give you a true non-biased breakdown of how these folks turn controversy into commission checks, because that's ultimate donor dollars, all that shit. Man, that's fucking money that they got to spend however it is that they wanted. Let's just be real. Okay, so let's jump into the episode here. First thing you got to understand is people love to argue and complain. For the last 6 months, heavily on Facebook, we've seen the right-wing extremists and the liberal left just like just fucking arguing. I have yet to see a single person change their mind and say, you know what, Robert, you're right. I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. I never fucking thought of it that way. I have yet to see that. And that's coming from a guy who spends somewhere between 6 and 10 hours a day on Facebook, because that's my job. And I've yet to see that comment, that post, or anything else. Now, I try not to immerse myself in the political conversations, but here's the thing. People love to argue and complain. We spend our whole lives being wrong. When you go to school, you give an answer to your teacher. She says you're wrong. You go to work, you give an answer to your boss. He gets worried about his job. He says you're wrong. And so we spend our whole lives being wrong. And in a political argument, and a religious too for that matter, there is no wrong or right, because it's purely theory. And a theory means that you can't prove it wrong, but at the same time you can't prove it right. So all you can do is argue, and that's what politics are. They're theories, because until you do it, we don't fucking know. And so people love to argue and complain because they're used to losing, and they're used to not winning in arguments with their boss, their family members, their kids, their teachers, their whole entire lives, their parents and everything else, so that when they get older, they exude their right to be right. But I can tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, from a guy that's been divorced 3 times and had to be in some fucked up situations in prison and shit like that, when you give up your right to be right, you start to get right. That's some tweetable shit right there, Robert. When you give up your right to be right, you start to get right. You see, because oftentimes we feel like we have to be right. It's my way or the highway, and we close our minds. And I don't know who's right, the Republicans or the Democrats, but I see both of them trapping themselves in echo chambers of other people and unfriending people that don't agree with them and everything else. Hey, I've fallen a victim to it too. But it's all because people love to argue and complain, because complaining doesn't cause resolution. Complaining isn't a solution. Complaining is a perpetual means to keep the problem alive. Okay, so a complaint doesn't solve anything. All a complaint does is perpetuate the actual problem that exists already. And people love to argue, especially when there is no winning situation, so that the other, like, it's easy to get in a political argument because somebody can't necessarily prove you wrong. It's a theory, right? So someone can't step in and necessarily prove you wrong. So it's a pretty safe argument to get in, because no matter how you look at it, you can be right in one form or another. We just witnessed Donald Trump do this. People argued and complained about Donald. They said, oh, he's racist. And with Hillary Clinton, they said, oh, she's killed a bunch of people and she's responsible for Benghazi and ISIS. And Donald Trump's racist and he hates women and he grabs women by the pussy or whatever the fuck, all this shit that was going on. And that just fueled people's ability to argue and complain, and neither one of them would be right. They would say Donald grabs pussy. Well, Hillary kills people. And both of them were right, and it's a safe argument to get in, and that controversy caused millions of red hats to be sold, millions of Hillary Clinton for president bumper stickers to be sold, hundreds of millions of dollars in $1 a day donations from the general public. Let's think about this. If you get 20 million people to give you $1 every day, that shit adds up pretty quick, especially when you've been campaigning for 18 months. But you see, those two, we just watched them create more controversy in this country and really on this planet than we've had in any time that I remember. Now, the way we have controversy these days in a civilized society is a little different. Back in the day, controversy meant storming the beaches of Normandy. These days, oftentimes it means getting on Facebook and trolling your liberal or conservative friends, right? But we just watched these two master salespeople, Clinton and Trump, orchestrate the biggest controversy we've ever seen, and they profited 100 million. No, I'm sorry. Clinton was 300 million. Trump was 180 million. So together, somewhere almost $500 million over creating controversy and turn it into sales, whether it be donations, red hats, yard signs, T-shirts, bumper stickers, all that shit. Ad donor dollars, the whole thing. All because people love to argue and complain. Because arguing politics is a safe bet because nobody can really prove you wrong. And you're rarely going to tap out and change your mind. So it's a safe argument. So people are used to not winning. They're used to losing. And this is a side where they can continue to perpetuate that. The second thing is controversy encourages conversations. You know, the thing about Donald being racist, right, which I don't believe is true. We would have a video or something of him dropping the N-word, I think, or a tweet or something like that if he was truly racist. I think wanting to secure our country, I don't think we're going to build a fucking wall anyway, but I think securing our country doesn't make somebody a racist, right? But that's neither here nor there. I also don't think that Hillary is a stone cold killer. I think what's going on is people that are running around in the government are just fucking stupid. It's like an episode of fucking Scooby-Doo up there. They're just running in place, looking for dog treats, high as a motherfucker, banging anything that'll come into the fucking office. And then when we come up with the smart people, when we come up with these conspiracy theories, they're like, yeah, man, go with that. I think that's what's going on because these people aren't that fucking smart. We're talking about a woman who don't know how to use emails and a dude that's got a dead squirrel for a fucking hairpiece, right? These are the people that really, you think the guy that says grab them by the pussy, we think these are smart people that we elect into office? No, they're fucking idiots. They just happen to be the king of the idiots and the queen of the idiots, right? But what happens is controversy encourages conversations. When people started saying Donald Trump was racist, it actually, if you were open-minded, it actually opened up a lot of dialogue to figure out what racism is. When people said that Hillary Clinton was the most qualified politician in the history of anybody to run for the president, that's controversial. It opened up a conversation to think, is she really that qualified, and what qualifies a person? Because Trump was the exact opposite. He has no qualifications. All he is a businessman. Never been involved in politics other than buying up politicians, I'm sure. But it encouraged the conversation. Do we need something different? What exactly is racism? I know that we've all come to different conclusions when it comes to this, but it allowed us to have these conversations. It also allows us to have arguments, which is part of it as well. And we just went through that. People love to argue and complain, but it encourages people to have, it encourages the right people, the forward-thinking people, to have conversations. My editor, who I'll spare her name, is the exact opposite of me. When I say that she's nice, she's very liberal with her views. She is not a greedy capitalist like I am, and she's just a complete different personality than I am. Like most of her views, we get along absolutely wonderful. And I had to have a talk with her. It's like, hey man, you know, all this controversy you're facing. She has two, I don't know what the hell you're supposed to politically correct. She got two daughters that are gay, right? And she's talking about, you know, hey, I'm so worried about all these things. And I'm like, hey man, but now we're having this conversation because now people are saying, hey, what does this mean for the future of America's gay? I don't know. You're supposed to fucking call people these days. So that is what it is. And I don't give a fuck if you judge me, right? Like if there's one person you can't say is fucking racist or judgmental, it's me. I don't fucking be business partners with people of all ethnicities, races. My first business partner was a flaming fucking gay guy named Chris Weaver. Chris out there. He's been on several of my podcasts. He and I were business partners for 2 years. My best friend is Persian. I mean, dude, I'm all over the fucking place here. So I just want to be clear on that because it allows us to start having those conversations like I had with my editor. It's like, hey, man, I don't know that you have anything to worry about because, like, you know, we didn't just elect Hitler or anything like that. But allows us to all of a sudden have these real conversations while I'm fearful for my kids because of X, Y, Z. And it allowed us to, for the first time, not necessarily agree on politics, but allowed us to have a conversation that provided some level of security. for my friend, the editor. The next thing is all publicity is good publicity. Man, I have been saying this for forever, and I'll be honest with Grant Cardone is somebody who's pretty damn good at this too. Is as long as you're in the spotlight, I think Grant says, "Hate me or love me, you know who I am." And if it's not him that says that, then fuck it, I'll take that quote. But hate me or love me, you know who I am. And I think Grant's quote is, 1 week they hate me, 1 week they love me, both weeks I get paid. So that's his shit. So we'll say hate me or love me, you know who I am is my quote. I'll just boom, that's my foot down. I'll take that one. Robert, that's quotable, damn it. And so that's people have said, Ryan, he likes Trump. He must be racist. They say, oh, Ryan, he's just an asshole sales guy. There was a dude that posted on his wall just like last week, and he's like, the asshole of the month this month is this Ryan Stewman hardcore closer guy. I told the dude he couldn't get a guarantee or buy my shit, so he got a little butthurt, and he posted about me. Someone actually posted on his thread on his wall and said, have you not heard Ryan Stewman's won asshole of the month for like 200 months in a row right now? The thing is, that person that wrote that may have been sarcastic. They may have been a friend of mine. They may not. I don't know. But here's the thing. They know who I am. This wasn't a shocker to them. And it wasn't a shocker to them that I didn't sell to this particular person. And now, while some people would say that's bad publicity, someone just called you an asshole in front of their entire Facebook list. But guess what? Most likely those people weren't going to buy from me that were connected to that person in the first place, or I would have sold to that person. Second of all, now that person just let all of their friends and family and connections know who the fuck I am, because when you talk shit about somebody, the first thing they do is they go, well, I'm going to go look at this loser's wall. And when you show up on my wall, you realize I'm not a fucking loser. And the right people will latch on to what we're doing over here in the THC podcast and hardcore and break free academy movements. And the wrong people will repel their fucking snowflake asses the hell away from us, right? I've had at least 1,000 people tell me that I'd be out of business from the shit that I've said. I've had people call me every name possible. One time, after ISIS continued to do some shit here in America, I mentioned that I was taking my products off the market for Muslims. And listen, I've given the Christian people a hard time because I'm not Christian, and I have given Jewish people a hard time, and I have given, and I'm not saying from a demeaning perspective, but like if you have bought 100% into this ideology, man, we're probably not seeing eye to eye. I've been there. I've read the Torah, I've read the Bible, read the Quran. I spent time in prison. I've read all this shit. It's all bullshit in my opinion. You're more than welcome to your opinion. But at the time, I was frustrated because these people keep hurting Americans. So I said, hey, if you're 100% bought into this ideology, I'd rather not help you make money because I can't trust the thing. And people said, oh, he's racist. He's so racist. And I said, first of all, Muslims, not a race, it's a religion. It's an ideology. It's not a color of your skin. I've been in prison. There's white, black, Mexican, Middle Eastern. And there's like every Latino, every kind of person you think is Muslim in prison because there's a big outreach there. So it's not a race. It's an ideology. Just like Christian is not a race. Jewish is not a race. It is an ideology, a religion that people bought into. Well, it upset a lot of people, but at the same time, a lot of people started talking about me. This was years ago. A lot of people started talking about me. They knew who I was. And people that were true red-blooded Americans that were getting fed up with this shit said the same thing. You know what? Well, at least he's taking a stand on something that he believes in, which is ironic because that's what religion is too, right? It's kind of funny how that works out. But again, what should have been detriment to me, again, allowed me to put my foot down and say, now, do I still feel that way? No, but right now, we've had a nice little period where nobody's getting hurt. But man, it upsets me as an American when people hurt my people. I don't give a fuck what your skin color, your race, religion, what fucking part of the world you're from. I'm a fucking American. People ask me, say, where are you from? Are you German? Are you Irish? Are you Jewish? No, motherfucker, I'm an American. I was fucking born in Dallas, Texas. I wasn't born in fucking Ireland. I wasn't born in Germany. I was born in fucking Dallas, Texas. And when anybody fucks with people that are from my country and it's us versus them, I'm on team us, motherfucker. And I get upset about that shit, right? And I'm on Team America. I don't give a like if you were born here, you're fucking Team America. You can't be born here and on Team Mexico. You can't be born here and on Team Canada. If that was the case, then take your fucking ass back to some other country. Because I was born here. I'm on Team America. I don't give a fuck where my ancestors came from. And so when I took that stand, people got upset. But the fucking true people that feel the same way, that their loyalty lies to this country and no other, said, man, I appreciate you taking a stand. It may not have been the right one to take, and it might have been a little off color for the way that you put it, but fuck, at least you're willing to stand up for Americans when everybody else is fucking scared because of PC. Again, any publicity is good publicity. And then another thing you do is run off prospects who don't want to buy from you. Just like I was saying with the guy that posted on his wall, called me asshole of the month. You know, I keep winning that award. It's kind of nice. That guy, like the people that there's no way on God's green earth that they would connect with me and my ego alpha personality type. They went and looked at my shit and immediately disappeared. Oh, fuck, this guy is definitely not for me. Meanwhile, like I said, there's certain people that said, hey, man, I don't like this guy that called Ryan an asshole. I'm going to see who this Ryan guy is. Oh, shit, he looks legit as fuck. See, because that's what it's really all about in sales, especially from a marketing and advertising point, which is the beginning, the entry point of sales. You see, the close is a grand finale in a series of smaller sales, and the first sale starts with the first time the prospect sees anything with your branding on it, which is usually marketing or advertisement. Somebody posting on Facebook, for example. And see, all we're doing from that point to get people in our funnel is to try to attract the right people and repel the wrong people. And you see, there's some guys that can get away with it, like Joel Osteen. He's got such a lukewarm message. He's become the #1 preacher in America. He's gotten so good at his language, because that's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. He's gotten so good at his language that everybody has come to a place of agreement with him. It's pretty fucking amazing. Meanwhile, I don't want to agree with everybody. I don't have time to figure out the language of agreement with everybody. And I like controversy because controversy causes people to think. Controversy causes consciousness. Because when people live in fear, when people have anger, when people experience that adrenal, that thyroidic emotion, they're alive. It causes them to think. It causes them to be conscious. Whether they agree, whether they're mad, whatever the case may be, it causes them to be present, which most of us run around fucking completely not present. Now listen, when it comes to winning with controversy, you can't always win. You know, even though, we'll go back to the political side of this, even though Donald Trump won the president, you know, he still hasn't won everybody over. Matter of fact, he's got a lot more work to do now, I believe, than he did when he was on the campaign trail. And if Hillary would have won, she'd have had a lot of work to do too, because half the country was not won. Half the country was lost. So you know, when you go into something and you're causing controversy and you're relying on that controversy and you're converting that controversy into commission checks, just know, just like I just said, you're going to attract and repel people. So know that about 50, maybe if you're me, 70% of people are going to be repelled. There's a reason why the Zig Ziglar fan page has 4 million fans on it and mine has 130,000. And it's not so much the time or the effort on Zig's end. Zig has a message that kind of fits everybody. It's motivational, it's encouraging, it's church on Sunday. It's not, you know, you can feel special sharing Zig stuff. You know that it's the good language that everybody agrees with, like Joel Osteen, whereas mine's saying, fuck your excuses. I'm not for everybody. I'm running a lot of people off. But I know the people that I'm for are the ones that are going to get the most results. And the fact that I've helped several people become $1 million per year earners has really been a testament to that. Because one of the biggest strengths you can have in sales is knowing exactly who you're for and knowing exactly who you're not for. Because once you identify what you want and you identify what you don't want, then you can get laser pointed in on what exactly it is that you want so that you can make that happen and you can shun everything else out. And that's part of winning. You know, sometimes it's not like Donald Trump got to be president because everybody voted for him. More than half of the voters, because the popular vote, more than half of the voters said, no, Donald, we are not voting for you. So don't be afraid to lose when you get into controversy, because for every win, there's a loss as well. Somebody had to lose. So, hey, real quick recap, right? Converting controversy into commission checks. Just remember this, right? People love to argue and complain. If you can get people talking on your Facebook wall, sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, it's good exposure for you. And controversy encourages conversations, right? With open-minded people, with the right words and influence, you can cause people to be consciousness. You can cause people to have emotions which make them conscious. And look, all publicity is good publicity. Look, whether they love you or they hate you, they know you. That's all that really matters. And look, we're in the business of attracting and repelling people. We want to attract the right people. We want to focus on who it is that we can help. We want to repel the people that we don't want to fuck with. Oftentimes people come and talk to me and they're like, dude, I hate my clients, man. I got all these clients making all this money. I fucking hate them. I'm like, why are you dealing with those people then? Let them go. Get rid of them. And remember, in order to win, there has to be losers. And so winning is it's like the 50% rule, right? If two people are competing, there's one winner, one loser. That means you lost 50% of the people that were in there. So be sure to text HC Webinar to 44222 and register for our next online learning event. That's HC Webinar to 44222. And while you're there, I'll actually send you an email once you get all registered up with my kick-ass take names, email address, and phone number digital book for free. And make sure you go over to hardcorecloser.com, catch the show notes and everything else. Leave me a review on iTunes, damn it. That would really help me out. And follow me on the social media webs, Clixo, CLYXO.com /closer. See you next time.